Hello everyone, it's Julie from Camelia Crafts. I've got an easy one for you today, it really is. You can make it with any paper you've got. Scraps, book pages, digital designs, scrapbook papers, it'll work with anything. If you've just got a plain sheet of A4 white paper, you can make one of these. No tools other than a bit of a glue and your hands. So, you can already see what they are, and it's up to you how fancy you get with them. I've just made some little, windows, I'm calling them, book page windows. You can pop them in your journals. Let me show you this journal I'm still adding things to. Oh, even first page will work for that. You could pop it there, glue it on 3 sides and make a pocket. You could glue it on those 3 sides and make a pocket there. You can make them ahead of time ready to put in your journals. You can make one as and when you need it. I've just grabbed a handful of cards here just to show you. You could add one to a journal card, then you've got a journal card with a pocket. Yeah, you could perhaps make a faux window envelope. Anywhere you need a window, you can use these. I've got a nifty little technique that I use to make sure these are square. If you look at my mat, you can see that that's nicely lined up, but I didn't do any measuring. No measuring whatsoever. In fact, you can use the mat to line up your pieces. Right, let's crack on and I'll make one, because I think these are easier to show than tell. They're not difficult. I've got loads made up there. Some I've inked, some I haven't. Some I've made from one book page, some I've made from lots. I mean, that one, I don't even think that really needs much decorating. That could go in any journal, and the feature would be whatever's going to show in that window, your tag, your journal card, whatever. Anyway, yeah, put them to one side. Let's show you how I made them. So, grab some bits and bobs, Julie. I've got 2 baskets here. This one's already got some edges from books, yeah? I mean, I do have loads of edges that I've already ripped off. If you're new to crafting and you don't have all these scraps like a lot of people, start with a full book page. In fact, I think I'm going to start with a full book page, and I'll show you what I've used to get mine. I'll show you this, and then I'll show you some other things that you could use, maybe you've not thought of. So that's my board I'm going to use. I'm just going to grab one. I'll grab one sheet of paper. I'll not grab an overly fussy one with botanicals on. Perhaps this will do. A dictionary page. Is that more than one? Yeah, I've got more than one there. Oh, look at that. I hope it's not got any bad words on. Sometimes, you've probably had this. You'll make something think that's a bad word. Stick something on it. Stick something over it. It'll be fine. Right, so I'm going to start with this. I'm going to rip. I think I want that F at the top. I don't know why. Just do. So that's that, and I'm going to rip the bottom off. If you wanted a really long skinny one, if you ripped your sides off first and then your top and your bottom, you would get a very skinny. This is going to be quite a big frame, this one. I'm doing it while talking. There's not a lot of brain action going on. I'm talking and ripping. The brain's been bypassed. There's that one, and there's that one. Whee! And I just like, they're just very rustic. Well, like a bit of, I used a word in a video recently, and people are like, we need to add that to a dictionary. Rusticity. But I think I used it in a different way. What for rusty or rust? I don't know. So look, rustic or rusty. Rusticity. That's my new word of the month. Right, so that's my top piece. That's my side piece, so it is on its side now, and I'm just lining those up, and I can see how much that piece overlaps my bottom piece, so I know where to put my glue to. And I'm just going to put a bit of glue on. I'm using my Tonic Nouveau glue. It grabs, but there's a little wiggle time. If you're going to take any length of time lining your corners up, use a glue that has a bit of wiggle time. It'll make your life much easier. So you use your favourite glue. It's on a book page. There you go. So I got that a bit wonky first time, so now I've wiggled it. Now I'm much happier. And I'm going to turn it round again. That's not perfect. I'll just trim it with my scissors. Yeah, trim it, woman. You did your first one. imperfect. Well, we're not aiming for perfection, are we? Well, we all have our own standards of perfection, I think, don't we, as well? It's not perfection, it's just the standards we're allowed. The amount of wonkiness we will allow in our projects. So, pop a bit of glue on there. My thumb's just marking where to glue up to. I think I need to clean my nozzle out on my glue. So I'm putting that back up to edge and butting that up there. And yeah, that's that. Sorted. If I turn it over and show you it back, that doesn't actually go all the way to the bottom. It doesn't need to. I moved that a bit further down because I put a bit too much glue on. Put my glue a bit far up. Now this one, it's up to you which corners you have overlapping. If I show you one at ones I did with this one, I've done that with 4 different pages from different books. So I've got my floral one going across the top, that one outside, that was just a plain book page edge and I stamped on it. Bitter music paper, and then that one I put it over the bottom and tucked it under the top. So it's up to you how you do it. There's no right or wrong. I challenge you to get this wrong. And if you're using a book page to practice, it's nothing expensive, so you're just not going to go wrong. You can't go wrong. Someone's going to go wrong. So I'm going to tuck that one under there. I'm using edge of my page to line that up because I know it were a nice square book page. I can see with that line across there, that's straight enough. I'm not going for perfection. I'm going to tuck that up a bit. And that one there. This is probably the wonkiest one I've made, but it's the first one I've made while speaking. But yeah, I'm happy with that. That's straight enough for me. Straight enough. And I'm just going to come in with my scissors and just trim this. I mean, perhaps if you got an actual very accurate set square on it, it might not be perfect, but who cares? It's good enough for me. So we've now got our book page frame. Now you can put acetate behind. You can I use those overhead projector sheets. They're a bit thinner than acetate and they're a lot cheaper. Trouble is, I cannot find them at the moment. I don't know where I've put a full box of them. I bought a box of either 50, 100 a few years back, enough to last a lifetime, and I've lost them. I will not buy them again. So I started grabbing some packaging. Yeah, the list of things that comes in plastic packaging is endless, isn't it? So I think that one was actual plastic packaging. One of my others that I put a window in was actual plastic packaging. I think I've left it in that journal. I don't know where I've put it. It could be anywhere. But then I didn't have enough plastic packaging. We save all ours. So it gets screwed up, and we take it to soft plastic recycling at local supermarket. So I thought, what have I got that I can use? Can't find my acetate. You could use, I've got some stamps here, you could use the extra acetate off stamp sheets. But I used to be a card maker, and I've got lots of these little cellophane bags, yeah, that you put your cards in. I'm sorry if that's a bit shiny on the camera there, and I thought, oh, I can use them. That one's going to work. You can cut them with your scissors. I'm just going to cut across the bottom of this. The thing I struggle with these is I lose them because I can't see them. And see, I weren't sure if I've got my scissors in it. So I'm just opening this bag up. I mean, the same kind of bags, you get a lot of craft supplies. You get all sorts in them, don't you? That won't rip. Sometimes you can rip them open. So if you're an ex-card maker and you've got a load of these hanging about, I used to put things in these for when I did craft fairs and when I was selling stuff. Or even when I was still doing Etsy, which I will be starting. I keep saying, I just haven't got round to it yet. So, there we go. Well, that, I think, is going to be my front. I could change my mind and use that at front. But I'm going to keep that as my front. So I'm just going to come in now and dot some glue. Not too near my aperture, as I'm calling it. But not too far away. Just enough to put my cellophane on. I mean, I know this is not a new idea making these. I just thought the lining them up using, that is my scoreboard, and I'm going to show you when I've glued this on, and just a few alternatives. Now that one only just covers there. This bag may have been a bit small. I could have done with getting a bigger pack out for this one. I made aperture very big. Once that's dry, if you've got any hanging over here that you don't need, you can snip it off. We'll call that one done for now. I'll turn it over. Whee. And there we have a window. I'm liking these better than the acetate or my overhead transparency films because they're a bit thinner. Now I'm going to put that under my craft mat. I have 2 craft mats on my desk and I always use the space between them for drying things. So that's that. Right, let's try another one using something else. Here's something else you can use to line them up. If you happen to be a more experienced crafter and you've gone in for a stamp platform, what's that on there? Use the corner of your stamp platform. That's another good one. So let's grab some more bits of paper. This time I'm going to use some random ones that I've already got ripped up. And I'm going to, oh, that'd be a nice thick top, wouldn't it? But I won't have much of a window. Oh, that's nice. So that's one that I've already ripped up. This time I'm not going to be so finicky about having my writing go the correct way. I mean, if you're very handy, I have got some chipboard here. If you're handy with a craft knife, you could cut your aperture out, or you could just cut the L shape. I like just using one corner and turning it, then I'm not limited to a certain size. So yeah, lots of ways you could do it. I think the thicker book pages are a bit easier. What else have we got here? Oh, that's different ones. What's that? That's the same actual, I don't think it's the same page, but it's the same book. I'm going to do that. So we're going to have floral at the top and bottom and some kind of book page at the side. That one should fit in. Yeah, I mean, you don't even have to have them all the same width. Again, that's like I say, I like the randomness. That looks good to me. So I'm going to put a bit of glue on here. Whee. I'm going to pop that there. Pop that into the corner. This might be a bit easier because it's much deeper than I were using my scoreboard. I've got a damp cloth as well ready to clean any glue off. If I should get anywhere I don't want it. I don't want to affect the operation of my scoreboard and my, let's put this a bit further up in shot. So now that's dry, I'm going to turn it round. Whee. I can use bottom on this one. I've got 2 corners, haven't I? That's going to go there. So I'll put a bit of glue on that. I mean, you'll find your own way. If you don't want them as perfect, use your craft mat if you've got squares on it. You could use anything. Just an A4 sheet of paper, use the corner of that. That's that. And we're going to put that on the bottom, aren't we? Yeah. So I'll glue this one first. There we go. Looks straightish. Then I'm just going to touch it down there because I'm liking having this. And then I'm going to glue that one up to where my finger is. You can use glue stick if you want. I just thought it might move about a bit more with glue stick. I've not done this one as well. That's cocking up a little bit, so I'm just going to peel that off. There we go. Just so it's going to flatten down a bit better. There we go. Because it's not going to lay flat on your page. That's why I always struggle making things like this if I've got nothing to line it up with. That now I'm going to trim. So there we go, we've got another one. That's very wide there. I don't know what I'm going to put on that. Perhaps a big giant label. Right, so I'll pop that to one side. Another thing I've got, I do actually have a plastic set square. Ta-da! This one, it's a lot thinner than I was expecting. The joys of Temu. Yeah, I do get the odd occasional thing from Temu. I don't do Temu hauls on that because, do you know what I've noticed with Temu? Even if you reorder the same thing off the same link, it might be totally different. Right, I'm going to use that, and I'm going to rip that because I do love that look of that ripped edge. So, yeah, I'm using my set square for this. How many if you don't have one? You don't have one. But the idea of this video is you're going to have something. Even if the one thing you're going to line it up with is a sheet of A4 paper. I mean, and I'm going to say something very controversial now. It's not controversial, but if you don't have any paper, don't watch my video. If you don't have any paper, I get some weird questions asked sometimes, and I just get all sarcastic in reply. I remember the time someone once asked me how you're going to cut your paper if you don't have scissors or a trimmer, and I just like just chew it with your teeth, rip it with your teeth. Yeah, I'm like, that was obviously a troll comment, that I think. So yeah, and then I have to realise that sometimes not everyone has my sense of humour, which is quite sarcastic. So yeah, don't take it to heart. Take everything with a pinch of salt when I'm being silly. Right, I'm looking for something for the bottom. Oh, I think that might be nice. Yeah. So put some glue on there. I keep going really low down today, and I don't know why. I'm still in shot, just not. I think I'm more in shot than I thought. Oops, the whole thing moved then, didn't it? I don't know my own strength. That's that. Then we need one for that side. I didn't prepare too many. Well, I haven't got any really long ones. So I have got another. Ta-da! Here's my other basket. Sometimes I'm not that organised when I get all these baskets. I don't think it does me any good sometimes. What have we got here? Oh, that's a good one. Ooh, what's that? Awful, that's what that is, but we're just going to use the edge. It's some kind of, I don't know, anatomy book I've got, or some kind of encyclopedia. There's some icky looking things in sometimes. So I tend to stick to nature books. Nature books and factual books. I'm going to do that there. So on this one, I'm also going to I'm going to use the set square and the lines on my mat. So see, I'm using two here. So I know that's straight. And I'm going to stick that up to that line. And then I'm going to chop that bit off. Yeah? That's good. So how far do I glue up to? About there. I will get on to decorating some next anyway. You don't have to see me make too many. But you can decorate them however you want. Sometimes decorating's a bit of a personal thing. But I know you like to see me do it and talk absolute rubbish while I'm doing it. That's why you're here. And I think I'm going to have that underneath there. Yeah. So that's where I glue to. One thing you can do if it makes your life easier, I've got a pencil here. Just notch that up a little bit and put a mark. Yeah. Then don't glue beyond that pencil mark and you'll be right. You'll be right. There you go. It's just now about make sure it's flat. That's straight enough. I'm quite happy with that. So I'm going to come in and trim them corners. Whee. One more I wanted to make. I'm just going to show you one with a little bit of scrapbook paper. I've got this little tiny pad of scrapbook paper that I find hard to use because it's so teeny tiny. I quite like that. I think I like it better that way, I don't know. But yeah, stick a flower on, stick some labels on, round your corners, get a bit of ink on. It's going to be fancy. Right, this is the next one I want to make. I've got this. It cost £1. I've had it yonks. They're pretty, but I don't know. Sometimes I'm at a loss to use them. So I'm just going to pick one. I like that actually. Let's use that. And I'm going to make a frame. And then I can use what's left to decorate something else. So I'm just going to come in and rip my edges off. Whee. It's not too hot here now in UK. Oh, me and my daughter, we were walking around yesterday in town in rain. There's people rushing about and got umbrellas up, and we're just like dawdling along with bags of shopping, getting absolutely wet through and loving it. It were brilliant. Right, this one, I'm just going to use the squares on my mat. I've totally forgot which side were which, so I'm not right bothered if it ends up upside down. But can you see how I've got some have got the square corners, some are ripped. So I'll start with a square cornered one. I'll pop it there. If you want to go to extremes, you could tack it down with some removable adhesive. I don't know, how far are you prepared to go for your art? Right, now this I'm just going to glue on end of there. And then I'm going to tuck it under top this time, just to cover my glue. And then I'm still using the squares on my board, yeah, to tell me that that's roughly a nice square corner. That's got 2 squares on. I'm going to lose a bit here because I've just not glued right corner in right place. But oh well, it'll be right. So I'm just going to glue a little bit there. It's much easier when you're not talking. It really is. I'm just going to hutch that up a bit. So I can use that square on my mat now to line that up. That looks nice and square. And then we're going to stick that on there somehow. Yeah. I mean, there's 2 things you could do here now. You could put that on and then put something else there. Or I can just pop it underneath them 2 and then trim some, which is what I'm going to go for. I'm going to pop it underneath. I'm going to line that edge up on one of my lines. And that edge. And then I'm just going to pop that underneath. Just as far as that. Line it up roughly with that line. And then pop a bit of glue there. There's lots of popping and bobbing in this video, isn't there? Yeah. I don't know how that happened. That one, you know, that one's terrible. So here's one, using the glue that doesn't grab instantly comes in. Oh, it's grabbed pretty quick on this scrapbook paper though, hasn't it? Ooh. I'm just trying to prove you can do it with lines on your mat, and then I messed it up. That's a bit better. I'm going to need a bit more glue. Yeah, this one's really not gone that good. But I'm going to leave it in. So even when it goes wrong, don't throw it away. There's something you can do. And do you know what? I'm going to get all fancy with my trimmer on this one. And I'm just going to pop it in trimmer and repair it. Are we ready? Oh, there's a hair. No, it's not a hair. It's a bit of paper. There you go. You'd never know I made all that mess. So if you are a crafter that's crafting without a trimmer, it's really handy to have a trimmer. Look how I saved that. Right, now I'm going to get my scoreboard back out, and I'm just going to show you how much easier that would have been with that. I've already made a few, so you've seen it. Just one more. I will go on to the decorating, I promise. Right. Decide which one's going where, woman, before you glue out down. That might help a little bit. No. Right, they're going to be for other projects. I've just realised what I'm doing wrong when I'm making it from a book page. Tear both sides off and then the other 2. Oh, I know that. I've made loads. You've seen them all. So tear the bottom. tear the top, then tear the edges, then you don't end up with that one silly little one. By heck. You don't make your life easy sometimes, you. So this time I'm going to put a little bit of glue on the end of that one. I'm using the corner on my scoreboard. It's not actually very deep on this little one. It probably would be easier if I got my big scoreboard out, but you know what I'm like for running out of space on my desk. There we go. Then I'm going to turn that round. And I'm going to do the same with this one. Whee. So that one's looking pretty good. And then that one's going to go there. Hunky dory. So I'll line that up there and that up there. Yeah. Put a little bit of glue on that. That's that one done. So then you know it's square when that one is also level with that edge. But that's only when you're making one from one sheet of paper. I'll show you ones I made earlier from a floral book page. I mean, sometimes you get these book pages and they're just a mass of flowers. They're not suitable for fussy cutting because they're all close together. How lovely is that? And then we've got these left over for any other collage that we do. I like that. Sorted. I'm going to put that one under my mat. Paper's thin, it's lifting up a bit. Right, let me show you this one. That's that. And that's the frame. I did it exactly like I just did the last one. It is easier when your paper's a bit bigger and when it's a bit thicker. So that was the centre of that. And now I've got my frame and I've got that to put on a piece of card. Like so. Look at that. That's a tag. You could even use the same tag to pop in to that window. Yeah. Right, I'm just going to tidy this up a little bit. Then we're going to come back and decorate a few together and put a little bit more acetate on some. Maybe use some vellum, whatever. 2 ticks. And I'm back. We've had a little tidy. So not crafting in that 6-inch square again. Right, so I decorated those few, didn't I, beforehand. These are some that I've made with you and some that I made before. It's clear to me that I can make them better when I'm not talking on video than when I'm with you. Did I make that one with you? I can't remember now. I forgot which ones I've just made. I know I've got one under my desk that I put my acetate on. Or my cellophane, should I say. So let's take that out. Come out, bag. Whee. Come out. It don't want to come out, it's stuck. All you can see is me messing about under my mat. Right, oh yeah, it's stuck up. There we go, I've got it. So that's that one that I've made with you. I've put my cellophane on. And let's decorate that. So what I've grabbed is my fussy cut flowers that I cut from books. Yeah, I will try and put a list of the books I use in the description. But I'll tell you one person who uses all the same books and does do flip throughs and show you. Joey DeFee, yeah, she used a lovely book the other day on something. I'm like, I've got that book and I've never used it because everything seems a bit big. Oh, look at that, I like that already. I really like that already. Put that up there out of the way. I've got too much stuff on my desk and my desk's not big enough. It's a problem, I tell you, it's a problem. I do like that. Yeah, and then I've got a few more of my little tubs of labels and things out. But like I say, the decorating is a personal thing. You decorate with what you've got and what you want. Some people only use junk in their stuff. I've always been a craft order. I've ordered craft supplies for as long as I've been an adult. Oh, I like that. So yeah, I use lots of my existing craft supplies in my journals. No, I don't want 2 green tickets, but that needs something on. Maybe a butterfly. Yeah, I might go for the old thing, a label, a flower and a butterfly. You can't fail with a label, a flower and a butterfly. And I do have a couple hanging about on my desk without getting the butterfly box out. I've got one there. That's actually a vellum sticker, but I think that I can still put that on. It's coming over onto acetate a little bit, but I'm putting that there. I'm doing it now. Whee. Come on. There you go. Put it on before you change your mind. Love it. Yeah, it's going over onto my cellophane, but I'm not too fussed. I'm going to grab a bone folder and just rub it down so it disappears into the back a little bit. Whee. Now with this, I don't even think I'm going to bother inking this because I made this from one book page, didn't I? And I do like 3 sides have got that lovely, there's a word for it, I don't know what that word is. When it's aged. I mean, I could even put my label higher up. Yeah, I'm going to put the whole label higher up so it comes onto my window. I like that idea, yeah. So, I'll glue it again, I think, with this Nouveau glue. I'm going to glue everything apart from that very edge because I want to have it hanging off. I mean, that were a big step for me when I started. Having things hanging off edge. Oh, yeah. I used to keep everything within the little area that I'll craft in. That comes from spending so many years making cards that have to go in envelopes. You don't want things hanging off edge because they'll get damaged when they go through post. I think I'll leave, yeah, I'll leave one line of text underneath. Stick that on there. Just be careful with how much glue you do put on when you're sticking to acetate and, yeah, cellophane, because it can spread out more than you're expecting underneath. And I'm just going to snip the edge of that label off with my scissors. Bit wonky like woman, but it'll do. Don't faff too much. And I'm going to put just a little bit of ink on there because that's not as aged as my book page edge. I might put a little bit on this one as well. This was the edge of the book page where it came out of the spine of the book, and it obviously hasn't got that lovely colour on it. Foxing, do they call it? Is that the word? It could be. And then that, oh, that's going to look so nice there. Yeah. So I'm going to just use my, oh, if you've seen me use this before, I've started using it recently after watching the lovely lady at MB Cards. Oh, look at that. Oh, yeah. That could be an embellishment. Do you know what? I'm going to save it. That's just PVA glue that's dried in the bottom of my little glass jar that I used. Put some glue on. It's really good for sticking your fussy cuts down and getting coverage. Has that got glue on? Yeah, that just peels off. It's one of those silicone brushes. The ends are cut off, and then you can just use it to stipple the glue onto your fussy cut. That's a fabulous way to do it. Watch, put your fussy cut on there and just stipple your glue on. I honestly don't know sometimes what you can see on camera and what you can't. If you were just gluing one thing, it won't be a very economical way to use your glue. But when you're doing a lot, you don't waste as much glue. I obviously wasted a bit yesterday because I was doing a few and then phone rings and someone knocks at the door and then life happens. Alright, I'll go that far down. And then I'm going to place my fussy cut on, knowing that it's got enough glue on. You might notice I'm not being as precious about getting stuff on my mat these days. I did buy a new mat, but I'm just not using it yet. I'm going to use this one for a while. Whee. It cocks up in certain places because I've damaged it with my heat gun because I'm a bit daft like that. Right, that's that. I like that. It needs something else. I don't like them white spaces, and I think it needs another label there. It just does. So, let's grab another label. I'm liking the overlapping label look as well. What colour shall we have? I don't want that, it's green. I want perhaps a smaller one. Maybe a number. No, I don't want it to say December. What's that? Ooh, that's nice. Yeah, I think I just want to put that on there. Yeah, I like it. I'm not going to use the brush to stipple the glue on this time. I could quite as easily have used a glue stick for this, but I've got that glue out. Yeah, I want that there. I don't know why, I just do. And that, I have already got some stamps out, because like that one, I stamped on some plain bits of paper that come off of book pages. Some have got a very deep border, haven't they, before you get your text or whatever. And I've, like I say, I've got a couple of stamps out. I will show you the stamps that they come from, because someone's going to ask. I'm not trying to sell it yet. I don't even know if you can get it at the minute. It's Creative Expressions one by Sam Poole, and it's called Nature Finds. I did get mine off Amazon. I get quite a few off Amazon. I will link it if it's there. If it's not, just any similar stamp set will do. You don't have to have the exact same one I've got. And I've used this because I wanted to use that one, which is like a leaf, and that, which is a little bit of text, rather than struggling with my giant text stamp. So I'm going to pop that up now. The glue's dried. Pop that under there. I'm going to grab some ink. This is the Claire Versafine Fallen Leaves colour. It is brown, but it looks black. But it doesn't look as harsh as black, if that makes any sense whatsoever. And I will put onto that by watching Margaret at Seven Plaza. She uses it, and I thought, yeah, it's just not quite as harsh as black. And I love it. I'd previously been using black. Right. Now, I don't want this to be very dark, so I'm going to stamp it off once there, and then I'm going to come in. I really wish I'd done it before I put that on. So do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put a bit of paper there. Yeah, it's not perfect, but it'll do. And there we go. That's it. It's just made that little blank space look a little bit more interesting. And here, there. I'm much happier with that now. It weren't much that I've done to it, but it's added something, and it. Put your lid on your ink, or you're going to end up in a right tangle. Now I'm just going to snip the bottom of that off. And I'm really happy with this one. Really happy with that. I like it. And I'm sorry if that's reflecting, but yeah. I mean, oh, one thing I've got to do, because you know what I always say, right, square corners, they're a little bit offensive. Ooh, I've got my corner rounder. Just going to round them off with a small one. Just to finish it off. Yeah, I'm happy now. And if, like I've made this with book pages, if you feel they're a little bit delicate, you can always put another bit of paper on the back. If you think, if I turn this into a pocket in my journal, it might be a bit too delicate, just get some more scraps of paper and put some round the edges. They don't have to go as far in as your embellishments and your existing pages. It'll just strengthen those edges a bit. I don't know what I'm going to do with this yet. I mean, I may put something behind it and put it as a fixed. It could be a journal cover, this. It would look lovely. I could just put some other... Let's grab that random flower, turn that over so it's white. Put the random flower there. And that could be a finished piece on a cover or in a journal. It wouldn't be a pocket. So I'm not going to strengthen mine now because I don't know if I'm going to need to. But I'm really, really happy with that. I'm going to decorate a couple more. Why? Because we can. Right, let's do one with a bit more stamping. I've got a very plain one here that I put together yesterday. That's it. And I'm going to stamp on this one. So, like I say, I've got that stamp set and it has this fern. I want to stamp... I'm going to stamp a fern up that edge. Maybe a fern up there. Then maybe I could put some flowers along the bottom and up that side. I'm not going to put acetate on this one. Only because it's going to reflect a lot when I'm picking it up like that last one. So, and I'm going to stamp with something I don't normally stamp with, which is distress ink. I don't like how distress ink looks if I'm making a card and I want nice, crisp, clear stamping. In fact, this is distress oxide. But when it's like just some kind of background interest, I don't mind that the stamping's not going to be very clear. Right, let's pop that envelope back under. And did I tell you colour? It's bundled sage, this. I'm really bad at using my coloured inks. I'm really bad at buying coloured inks and not using them. I might have to get a bit more colourful this summer. Now, I'm not going to stamp this off because it's not going to be that bright. And I'm just going to stamp it up there. I'm going to hold it on for a second or two just to let the ink transfer. There you go. See, it's not perfect, but I didn't want it perfect. But if you have a look, can you see how it doesn't stamp perfect? I think that's why, as a card maker, I was not keen on it. But as a junk journal maker, I'm starting to really like it now for stamping. Right, I'm going to grab another fussy cut. I mean, if you don't have books to fussy cut from, use digitals. You're probably sick of me banging on about these by now, but I'm in love with Cara Brandon's digitals, the ones that she's done inspired by Tim Holtz. I have had a few questions about them, so I'll just mention them. I've had people saying that they look just like Tim Holtz die cuts. What on earth am I printing them with and printing them on? I am printing them with my... I did get a laser printer last year. It's not an expensive one, actually. It was cheaper than buying one of them eco tank things that I've had before and put in cupboard, because mine just didn't work properly. Either user error or a dodgy printer, I don't know. So I bought a Brother. It was just over £200, a laser printer, and I used Navigator 160 GSM. It's like a thick paper, thin cardstock, yeah? I don't put it in either camp. It's more thick paper, and that's what I print on. And part of the reason these look so good, it is the digital files. Cara's files are very crisp and very clean. They're not blurry. Some digitals can be blurry, but I think they're made that way because, yeah, people want them like that. These are just very clean and very crisp, just to match in with Tim Holtz's ones. I think I've got one of his hanging about on my desk. There we go. That's an actual Tim Holtz one. And these are, the others are Cara's, Cara Brandon. Their ones aren't finished fussy cutting, but I love them. I'm going to use them lots. I will save a lot of money then and not constantly buying the packs from Tim Holtz, because I can just reprint Cara's and use them. I'm not a big digital user, and it's not because I don't like them, it's because I have got so much stuff. I don't need to be printing more out all the time. But yeah, I love these as focal points. But do you know what? I think can we use that Tim Holtz one? I do like it. And the big butterfly. Do you know that's done, isn't it? That's how easy they are to use as well. That's done. I'm going to swap that out for a book page one though, because it's going to be a bit thick and heavy on there. Oh, there we go. Sorted. And I'm going to stick a label on and I'm done. So that's got 2 flowers, a butterfly and a label. But I'm going to come in with a little bit more stamping as well before I glue those down finally. So yeah, we didn't use a whole book page there, did we? We brought Cara Brandon's out. Yeah, I will link Cara's YouTube channel. She shows the full kits, and I'll link her Etsy shop if you're interested. But you don't have to. You do you. I think some of us YouTubers, because we're crafting all the time and we're selling it, a lot of things we do are to save time, to mass make things. And if you just make them for yourself in odd few hours you've got, you don't need a lot of this stuff that we've got. We're businesses, yeah? I buy my craft supplies and the tax deductible. That's taken from a portion of my income I don't pay tax on because it's an allowed expense, yeah? So that's something to think about. Right, I'm just lecturing and waffling now, and I've lost my stamps and I don't know what I'm doing. What have I done with my... Here we go. That's my text stamp back. So lecture over, waffle over. Julie's got down off a soapbox and she's going to put it in a recycling box and not be using it again. So I'm going to stamp that off once again. I don't want it too perfect, so I'm just going to put a little bit there. Perfect. There. Again, maybe I'd have been better doing this before I did that, but I don't do a lot of planning ahead. I'm not very good at it sometimes. There we go. And yeah, I'm going to use the same one down here because I can. There we go. Love it. So then I'm going to stick the butterfly on, and I'm going to stick that on there because I like it. Yeah. And then I'm going to put a label there. Take that away. Looks so much better on my map than there. I'm just going to do a little bit of inking around the edge of this because as I've fussy cut it, we've got quite a lot of white. And then I'm going to use my same glue to glue it on. The desk's descending into chaos again, isn't it? This one, ooh, wee, got away. That were a bit cruel way I just flicked that out of there, wasn't it? Yeah, we'll have you there. And you. This one's not got lots of intricate pieces on, so I'm not doing my stippling method. I'm just sticking some glue on back of it. Wee. You're there. I've sort of put them both at the same angle, which I'm not liking so much. So I'm just going to twist my butterfly a bit. There we go. For some reason I like that better. And I want a label here. And yeah, then I think that one's done. I've said this before. What on earth did we do before labels? I haven't got a clue. I don't know. Oh, you're a nice label, but you've got nothing on you. No, I don't like you. Oh, a ticket. A ticket. Oh, a part of a ticket. I think I like that. I don't know, maybe I want something that's going to blend into the background a little bit more than that. Takes me a while to decide something. I like that better, yeah. I like that better. Again, I like it hanging off edge, and that's too white for me liking, so I'm just going to ink it a bit. Inky pinky parlez-vous. I've got to stop singing that one, ink. I'm even annoying myself with that one. I really am. Wee. Glue it, glue it. And stick it, stick it. And then I'll just trim the edge off again. We've already rounded these corners, haven't we? We've already removed the offensiveness. And I will just put a little bit of glue there. And I think it needs, I don't know, something's saying it needs something there, but then it'll look weird because it's just got something at each four corners. I'm leaving that one there as it is. I like it. Lovely. And I can add acetate to the back if I want to. I might not want to. I could put that on a journal page and then you could leave that blank for a little bit of journaling. Yeah, you don't have to use it as a window where you pop something in. It's a frame. So we've made frames or windows, haven't we? So they're the two we've decorated today. I quite like them. And let's decorate one more. It's this. I think that's the other one we made today, isn't it? Yeah, I'll decorate that one. Right. So that flower, that bit's done up there. We don't want to put anything there. I don't think I need to get my stamps out because that's got a bit stuck. Did we make that together or did I make that on me? I don't know. I'm decorating this one anyway. That's what I'm doing. Maybe that's the one we made together. Yeah. But you know, I don't think that needs decorating. I think that is quite, that's finished. I would be quite happy to put that on a page and call it finished. We may put some other bits on afterwards, but if we're mass making these ahead of time, that doesn't need anything. This one, however, I think needs a bit of something. A little bit of floofing about with. So I'm going to grab my fussy cuts again. Where did I put them? There we go. I haven't got up, I haven't moved, so they can't be that far, can they? Right, we've used a pink rose and we've used a purple one. I need to fussy cut some more. Now it looks like I've got a lot, but I'm getting a little bit low on colours. That's a different kind of purple, isn't it? Let's see what that looks like. It's one of them that, oh, that looks nice. I do like that. It's very delicate. I think that one I might like more. Oh no, that one needs to go on this side, because can you see that we're up to the edge of the book page, so it's like being chopped off. Oh, I do like, we could put one on each side. Oh yeah, that's it. That's what I'm doing. Putting one on each side. We've got that up there. I'll stick some labelly thing there. Job's a good one. Oh, I've put the wrong glue on. I didn't want to put Nouveau glue in there. We're going to put bog standard PVA, and I've used the wrong one. I'm all at 6s and 7s now. I'm losing everything. Over this summer I am definitely getting my craft room redone. It's just got to be a time when the girls are here to help me. I'm feeling 100% and there's nothing else that really needs doing. I need more glue in there. Grab the glue you use for it, woman. I think that Nouveau glue were just drying a bit quick. This is just some bog standard tacky glue. It happens to be from Craftelia. Are they in Spain or somewhere? Let's have a look. Where are they? Yeah, Spain. I were right. It just came up cheap once on Amazon, so I bought it. I don't think it's cheap anymore. You've got to know how to use Amazon. You've got to wait for things to get cheap. It's a bit like using eBay sometimes, the way I use Amazon. And I've got people often, where'd you get that from? So I'll tell you, I got it from Amazon. And then people look and be like, that's expensive. Well, it weren't when I bought it, or I wouldn't have bought it. Because I'm a bit frugal like that. Right. Let's get the glue on the back of that one. And I thought, what will this? Will this be my third one I've decorated? So after this one, I might call it a day. But yeah, give these a whirl. They're fun. You can use anything you've got on them. Like I say, you can mass make them. You can make one for a journal you're currently doing. Really like it. And like I say, if you don't want to put your acetate windows in straight away, you don't have to. I mean, that I've nearly covered that window. That's like looking through my window into my garden. It's so overgrown. I'll be peeping through the window and there's all these plants in front of me. Yeah, my garden is constantly trying to be taken over by all trees, and yeah, like I say, it's not a wood, it's just a tiny wooded area from an old existing wood, I think. It's weird, and it's constantly trying to take over my garden. I'm happy with that. I think we need another label. Might check a different box of labels. Yeah, I always use digital labels. That's one thing I do love my digitals for. And again, I'll try and remember to put a list of where I get them from. I get a lot of them from Tracy Fox. Always love junk journals. Junk journal. The junk journal shop as well. Oh, I like that. I think I'm going to do that at the bottom. Bit of blue. Yeah, I'm going to ink that a little bit. I don't know. I don't always want to ink everything these days. I'm going to use this just to use this glue up now because I'm finished. I don't want to waste it. It's much cheaper glue, that. It's like £2 for a tube of glue twice size at art glitter glue that costs 12 or 13. Although I don't have a problem with that because I recently had 2 bought for me in Happy Mail. Ooh, and I got some more Happy Mail. I've found the lady in comments and thanked her, Lynn, but I will also be using them in my next video. Right, we'll put you there, Mr. Ticket. I don't often put things in the middle, but sometimes it's appropriate. We tend to put them off to one side, don't we? I'm going to make sure that's straight enough, and then I'm just going to snip the bottom off, round my corners. And I'm going to call this one Done. I love these. I could make these all day. I'll let you into a secret. Maybe if I'd not spent as much time making them yesterday, I might have got a video done a day earlier. Whee. But I didn't. That's that. Oh, I love it. So we've decorated that one today. We've decorated that one. And that one, I really love them. Well, I've showed you, look at that. I mean, I don't know where I'm going to use that, but I am going to use it. Again, don't have to be a window. I could just put it as a frame to put some journaling in the middle. But like I say, you can make these from anything you've got. These ones that I've just made from one book page, they're lovely. Yeah, I'll show you this one last book before I go, because I get asked about this book such a lot. Now, there are some of the pages I've got left from it. And I found the actual book cover for this one that I had. Oh, let's grab you, missus. There you go. Right, it gets very expensive sometimes, this. But when it's not popular, it gets cheaper. And it is the Concise British Flora in colour. I mean, look how those pages are. Some you can fussy cut. In fact, I think that one there... yeah, was a fussy cut from, is it this page? I don't know. It was a fussy cut from this book. But then some of the pages, like that one, you couldn't really fussy cut that so much. Everything blends together. But that would be perfect for making a frame. Yeah. I've nearly used this full book up. Because I use them for all sorts. I just put them in journals as well. I'll put them in. That's so pretty, but I would not know where to start trying to fussy cut that. So this could maybe make a lovely frame. You could tear it so that in top left corner you had that bit. You could then perhaps have that bit. Yeah, you could put a flower in every corner. So you can get pretty creative with this method. Like I said, there's no probably about it. I've not invented this. Just, there's probably other people that have lined the corners up same as me as well. Right, I'm going to shut up waffling and I am going to make a move. So I hope, give that a whirl. You can do it with anything you've got. If you want, like I say, if you've got plain paper, a few fussy cuts, grab a magazine, cut some bits out. It's endless. It really is, this one. It didn't need a tutorial really, did it? But I've done you one. You're welcome. So thank you everyone for watching, and yeah, I'll see you next time. Bye.